Welcome to the Fredericksburg Turks weekly podcast episodes for the Final Fantasy Trading Card Game. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
The Menphilly trophy he has is just like filled with his finger marks. It's like
he sleeps with it, guys.
Yeah, he sleeps with it.
It's
so grimy.
It's just beside my bed.
Put it to the light right now.
More fingerprints.
No, put it to the light right now. It's like streaks.
Oh God, don't touch it.
I love it.
No.
I think that's more than just fingerprints. Yep. I can see what that is.
Alright, this is why from here on out he's not allowed in my house.
Alright, so am I leading this again?
Go for it.
Because I kind of have...
I'll chime in when I have...
Oh, you led the last
2 cents.
one.
Because I have like...
I'll chime in when
my
I have
voice
2
is
cents.
more like the NPR, like smooth jazz radio kind of thing.
I chime in and
Welcome
talk
to the
shit when
channel.
I can.
I can lead it. I can try.
I'm outgoing, but I ain't Chris outgoing.
No, it's all good. Alright. So, hey, welcome to today's episode. We're just basically coming off the RVA tournament that just happened, yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, so we were kind of burned out a little bit yesterday, so sorry about not getting the episode on time, technically.
Yeah, we were beat, man.
Yeah.
It was a long day.
I came back with full intention of recording it. As soon as we made it back to go to the shop and record, we were like, I think we're going to call it a night.
Right, yeah.
Let's do this tomorrow.
Well, let's all record, and then we all get up from the car and like, nah.
Let's I'll sit in the parking lot for an hour.
And the best part about the whole night, I mean, aside from me placing second in the tournament, is coming back to the shop when we have full intention of recording and then realize Kyle waited there for an hour and telling him, hi, you wasted your time. That made my whole day.
But yeah, if you didn't know, basically that tournament was called the Soldier Showdown, if I'm not mistaken.
The Soldier Showdown series.
Yeah, there we go.
He kept on calling it Soul Series.
was a
Dang it, it's the Showdown.
fantastic tournament run by Adam Lane and Chris Adams and RVA.
Fantastic turnout, fantastic event.
Yeah, they definitely put all the work together. I'm pretty sure Chris paid out of pocket for all the prize support as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I me and Steven ended up donating things for like raffles and as well as...
Yeah, a couple starter decks, some of the Cydia promos.
Yeah. And, we just wanted to show our support for their scene too, so we had no problem donating everything over to their cause. And funny enough, the Cydia promos that I donated, I ended up getting them right back for winning the tournament. So
Scumbag.
that's value right there.
You thought I was a nice guy, I planned to take him back.
But anyways, I also wanted to give a shout out to RVA Returners. They have a T-shirt that they are selling currently. It's a very good design and definitely embodies their channel to the fullest, I think.
The Windmill Slam.
The Windmill Slam Sabin. If you have a chance, we're going to include a link with the podcast so that way you guys can check it out.
This one's the word we go to Steven.
Yeah, purchase the T-shirt. It's $15. Everything that goes to them is going to be used for future prize support as well as for their channel and the scene in the whole. So don't feel bad about buying. No one's really profiting except for the whole community. So
Yeah, I mean, as long as you if you do decide to get a shirt, just know it's going to a good cause. It's going to improve their channel, improve the community, and just all around bring more tournaments around.
yeah.
Windmill slam.
Windmill slam that wallet. Get yourself a shirt.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they have shirts down the line too. I'm pretty sure Chris was talking a lot about the ranch. What was it? Nance's own ranch.
Hashtag Nance Face.
Wrestling Nance Face.
Wrestling Nance Face.
I'd buy one of those in a heartbeat.
I'm buying it as soon as it comes out. It's too good.
But yeah, also I guess we want to take some time to just talk a little bit about the tournament itself. Just basically some highlights of the tournament. Because if you don't know, I ended up taking the whole tournament. Steven got second, and then Jason just got clipped at ninth.
Yeah,
I
ninth
think.
place.
Yeah, so he
Once
was right on the
again,
cusp.
Yeah, all you people. I'm not going to say it. Just
You know
Austin
who you are.
Archer, you know who you are.
Anyways, you want to talk about anything like that stuff in the tournament, like a particular matchup that you were kind of surprised about, or
I was surprised to see next to no Turbo Ice.
Yeah, I think you were the only
I
one
was the only
playing
one running it, I think, that day.
Yeah.
No, I guess it was a partial version of Turbo. Was Juno.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see the community grow from it. I mean, I'm not saying, like I said, never want to say it's a bad deck, but I'm happy to see that people have found the answers to it. It seems to not be proving as difficult to others as expected. Me running it myself, I had no intentions to run it. I actually wanted to bring my Wind Ice deck with me, but I brought the wrong box.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised seeing you on Turbo Discard, to be honest.
Didn't. Yeah, I had the wrong. I have two Ultimate Guard boxes. Shout out to Ultimate Guard, if you're listening. I got 2 of their big boxes for their 550 plus hives, and I brought the wrong one, so they had the wrong deck in it, and that's the only deck I had that day, so I was kind of bummed about that. But that's what I ran because that's all I had. But it was nice to see there was not too many turbo discards. There was a lot of mid-range, late-range decks going on.
Yeah.
And 2 Golbez, which was pretty cool. Nice to see Golbez back in the fray. One of which made top 8.
One of them which made top 4. I had to play him in the semifinals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did not like that matchup?
I don't like the matchup really, but the fact that I was expecting Turbo Ice, you best believe that Shadow Lord was in there. Awesome.
Bye, Golbez.
What about you, Steven? Was there anything that stood out?
I think the highlight of my whole day really that match with Danny Diaz, man. That
match was intense.
Every time me and that guy played, shout out to you, bro. That guy is one.
Yeah, I told Danny that I think he's literally one of the best players in VA.
Yeah, he's up there. He's definitely up there.
I love playing against that man.
Every time I play him, when I played him in the top 8 at the qualifier in Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I played him in the qualifier in North Carolina, and it's always a tough match. It's not easy. If I look like I'm winning, he'll turn the corner, and I was confident I'll have the game the whole time. In this situation, I won the first game. I lost the first game. I barely made it out the second game.
Yeah, that was tight.
And barely made it out the second game, and then I got the third. The third one was semi clean. It was rough at first, but halfway through the game, I knew it was in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, shout out to him. That guy can play one hell of a card. Can play hell of cards, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, definitely. And then for me, probably highlight was against Hunter. Definitely tough games, and even if I had Dataluma and 3 cactars, I still had to play as hard as I could, just because he's very good at punishing plays and playing optimally.
I don't think I've ever seen you think in the tank that hard. Personally, just against you. Not pretty much shitting on myself for that, but when you guys were playing against each other, the 2 of you were just thinking up a storm.
Yeah,
especially towards the ends of the rounds.
It was definitely I always use this analogy that one scene in Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not Heroes. Hero with Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
When him and Donnie Yen about to have that fight, and they're just fighting in their minds.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. But
Legit.
Yeah. But it was a very tough match, and the second game I thought I had it, but I just ended up decking myself out.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Seeing that happen, I in my head I was just I don't know what he can do at this point, because if he popped that Viking, and which he did, it would force you to draw, and that was just an issue. That one play you did though, where you popped the back up. Yeah, to play it again. That was pretty spicy.
Yeah, that was spicy, but a little too late.
Yeah, if you had done it sooner, it would have definitely made it better.
Doing it sooner would have been better, and then also I should have been more aggressive to try to close out the game. And because I was kind of playing passively, he was just able to do it back. But then for game 3, I just made sure that I didn't make that mistake, and I just started playing really aggressive.
You were definitely on the offense for game 3. You were leading the fight.
Yeah, and then there's one moment on stream that I want to talk about, where he had swung in with Setzer, and I had Dataluma out, and a Chaos Walker came off the top, and I know Adam was kind of questioning why I didn't just pop it out right, and whether I was afraid of anything was coming out. It wasn't so much that I was afraid of a certain forward coming out and punishing me. It's just that I knew he had one Shiva in the break zone, and if my Dataluma was frozen and dulled at that point, if he has that one Shiva in hand and is able to pitch something else for cost, he can just kill it outright. I didn't have a way to bring it back.
Right.
So I was just knowing Hunter, if I kill that card and I get hit with the Shiva right now, it's going to be hard for me to make a comeback. So that's why I was thinking about I'll take the gamble, and ended up paying out for me at the end. And then also against Steven for our finals match.
That match was embarrassing, man.
Yeah, it was. But it was kind of embarrassing for me too, because I had the wall out and I kept on giving a Brave and swinging without X-Burst. I don't know why I did it. I should have just let it be dulled, so that way I didn't get hit with that Ramu and potentially an Alcid. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I just wanted to kind of just talk about that, because that's definitely something that I could have worked on for that tournament. And even though I won it, it definitely wasn't because I played perfectly. I definitely misplayed those couple times, and then also against Hunter too, game 3. I ended up killing my own Camelot when I could have just
Oh,
boosted
man.
Delita.
That sweat dropped from my brow.
Like, even though that happened, like, I was confident that I was gonna still win that game because I was just like winning so much of momentum, and we just, well, I didn't really worry too much even if I lost the Camelot, so it just kind of happened to turn out like the way that I thought it was. But you live and learn, so that's something that I need to work on too. So not everyone's perfect.
I mean, it's funny because, even though we did ID our match, like, we were like, just play it out, whatever. And typical Steven, like, turn 2, 3 backups, and I was like, all right, please play something, anything. Play a Lua, swing for point. And I just had total control over that match. So, like, I was expecting this to go very similar. I thought our game 1 was like that. It kind of was like that in my favor. And then I just felt like your Vikings help you turn the corner. Because even though I had the backups and I had cards in hand, for me to then start popping your stuff and you recovering your hand faster than I can dish stuff out, I lost to that game 1. I think I played game 1 as best as I could. Game 2 was just, I just crapped it out.
The game 1 of the finals, though, like, you were in control for the beginning part, and then you just let it kind of slip away. And as the game got towards its end, like, you started making more misplays. Because, like, for one, when I rewatched the stream like all day today just to kind of like revisit the games and see like where I could work on. But like when you did the remove, like not only could you kill the data limit because I already pinged it with Cactar, like you could have done that, but you could have just killed the Zidane with the 7K. But you
that was game 1?
That was game 1, and then you chose to double it instead when you killed the Cactar.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that was just an extra point, me swinging.
Okay.
Those last 2 turns. But, like, to be honest, though, you're already, like, too far behind for it to really matter so much, because I would have had either one, like Data Limit or Zidane up on the board, no matter, like, what you chose to break. So it was kind of a little too late at that point, not to use that as an excuse or anything. Like, that could have just been played out a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. And I'll take that.
Sleeping.
Damn it, Kyle.
What?
You're busting ass in your bed, though.
Dude, get off. You think I'm playing. Get off.
Alright, I'll sound the laugh.
Yo, why is this man on our squad? Like,
Excuse me.
This man stood up and just blew it towards him. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus
man.
Christ. You
I don't know
guys
why
are
we're
too much.
friends with him. I should have left you in Kansas.
Steven
Jesus Christ, Kyle.
But Steven has kind of set things aside on this table here. Did you want to kind of...
So, I've a little bit of the spoils that I've gotten through the last qualifier cups. I got like 4 packs of sleeve and some of the Decidia promos, and I want to do a giveaway, man. I want you guys not only to be subscribed to our channel, but also share it and go ahead and give a like and subscribe to the RVA Returners podcast. By Friday, we'll go ahead and select 4 different,
New people.
5 different
Oh, no,
winners.
out of all of our subscribers, we'll pick one of you guys. 5 different ones? We're going to do 5?
I got 5 different things I can give away.
We feeling generous.
And I'll have all that stuff mailed out, but please like, share, and comment when it's done. Both give us the like, and I'll go ahead and give the subscription and like and share to the RVA Returners podcast, and we'll go ahead and give you guys some goodies.
Yep, because they definitely deserve it. They got some great content,
Oh, for sure.
and they're definitely pushing everything to the next level, and we're just trying to catch up.
Yeah,
to
we're
be
playing
honest.
catch up right now. They pushed us to go into this line of work. So it was actually a really good day for the Turks in general. Kyle went ahead and took the locals while we were all out. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
It was,
Yo, you getting stage fright? What's going on with you?
Step it up, boy. How'd it go?
No,
What were your matches like? Good?
Play against Turbo Ice, round 1.
Who was running Turbo Ice?
Judah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He ran back. I forgot.
Yeah, he wanted
to make sure
as
he
soon
made
as
the
he got
tournament.
his third loss, he said, "Oh, well, I'm not making top here. I gotta go take the locals. I'm out, guys."
Well, I didn't let him do that. I beat that. Then round 2, I played against Mono Water.
The Vikings?
Yeah,
Was that Michael?
Jordan.
Jordan?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay.
Then round 3, I played against Austin's Fire Earth deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I just basically controlled the whole game, like all 3 matches with Zemus, just controlling the board and just pumping out forwards every turn.
That was pretty much it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
It's like turns out Zemus is a very good card.
Yeah, Siemens Fuck your Zemus, man. Our match, that match, I was like, I don't know what to do with this.
I mean, I really don't want to talk too much about the matches on
Right.
on Sunday, but yeah. As soon as did I go first or you on first?
You guys played
you got the
Swiss?
dice roll. It was very Swiss.
He's playing, so, and I know he's on DGS, so I go first, and same thing I did with Judah in the last. I draw my card of like nothing's favorable. Pass. Pass turn to him. He gets a discard something. I play Zemus. Pass turn back to him, and I just sit on it for a little bit. Actually, no, I did not play Zemus. I played Kane. Pass turn
Kane
to him.
first. Yeah.
After I played Kane, pass turn to him.
Zemus
I
got
then
next.
drew cards, stayed at where I was at 5, pass turn again, and then I played the Zemus. And so every time he partied attack, I would block with the Kane,
and then just bring it right back.
and then
Yeah.
use Zemus to bring it right back. And so Kane and Zemus is, if I have those two, I am not losing to Turbo because I'm just gonna keep my hand.
Dark, so you don't have to
I'm
worry
gonna
about
keep
that.
my hand
Yeah.
and recur him every chance I
Yeah,
get.
as soon as he did it the first time, I was like, I am not doing that again. I'm not losing any more forwards to Kane. It's just going to come back as an asshole.
And then slowly, every time I had a chance to play another forward while still keeping at least 4 or 5 in hand, I did that, and eventually I just started applying pressure and swinging in after I had enough forwards on the board.
No, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. And then, just wanted to talk about the upcoming content for the channel. We got Jason doing his Reno's Local Heroes. Basically, he's going to be talking with some of the local players in our scene who, make it what it is and just kind of give a homage to it.
Yeah, I want to make sure we let our local people that put in the groundwork just as much as we do, make them feel the love, and let everybody know out there that's listening, if you've got these kind of people, you need to put the love towards them as much as they're putting in the community, because it's not a lone wolf project. It's, if you want a community to keep sustaining itself, you got to bring everyone involved that wants to put forth the effort and just work together. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good segment to go into, and it'll be like a mini series where I interviewed like some of the players that have put in just the groundwork, like Travis and Sean and Adam and now Michael. Like, we just have a lot of players that are just trying to put in a lot of effort into growing the community, and that's always welcome, and we always really appreciate the help.
I mean, no matter how much you want a community to grow, you can't do it all alone. I mean, you really can't, because if you're doing it by yourself and no one else is there to help you, eventually, I mean, no matter how strong you are, how much you want it to grow, it's tiring and you're eventually going to wind up giving up. But when you start slowly picking up people who like it just as much as you do, and then also want to see you grow, some of that weight is lifted off of your shoulders and you both carry it to them.
You are telling me
Help it grow.
running into Curtis was like a blessing. It really was, because I was doing fine with the people I were getting into play. It was me and Matt, my boss at the time, that were trying to grow something because we both love Final Fantasy. But when I ran into Curtis, I was like, all right, he wants the competitive shit to go down. I'm going to build this community and we're going to get it rolling. And then from there on, we just took off, and now you have us today.
Yeah.
So it really isn't a lone wolf thing, and it's got to be a duo to a team, a team effort.
Yeah, because it definitely felt organic, getting everything set up.
Oh yeah, it all came together just perfectly.
Yeah,
Just
just
like
like
puzzles and
mesh.
pieces.
Yeah. Also, same thing with Michael.
Mhm.
Everything's pretty going
Yeah, it's
well
going
in
well for him.
Nova.
I mean, shout outs to Muhammad for that. Michael's taking the reins and just going at it with
Yeah.
Nova right now.
I mean, to be fair, Muhammad's busy working, and Michael's able
for
to
someone
pick up
with
the
a schedule
pieces.
like that,
Yeah, and that's why I went up to Nova on Saturday to kind of give him some support. Just basically kind of help him
Mhm.
teach other players, and it was basically brand new people.
Oh yeah.
And it was actually a really nice setup. He was just in the library. He had a bunch
Right
of
now, I saw the room. It looked great. Yeah.
free starter decks, and then
Mhm.
free cards that they could just basically pull cards and
Mhm.
build Travis does at the Cauldron,
Right.
that kind of thing. So it was a pretty nice thing to see. I'll probably head out again to help him out if possible.
Yeah, when I logged into Facebook and saw you were out there, I was just I fist pumped. I was like, yes, that's what we need. It was like Chris putting in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just went in there and I was like, I was so happy about it, because I was happy to see that Curtis made the trip out there to meet the new players. It's just a great way to form the community and let them know that we're down in Fredericksburg. If something's having a hard time firing off, you always got a home here,
Yeah.
and vice versa. It's something we can't get us stuff to fire off, we'll go to Nova. Just let us know that we got the wheels and we'll be there.
Yeah, and I think I caught the competitive fire out of one of the new guys too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I saw something spark in his eyes
Ooh.
as I was teaching him how to play his Type 0 deck.
Uh-huh.
So shout outs to him.
He's seen the combos, he's seen
Yeah.
the way.
He's seen the way.
You know what? I really like Type Zeros and the concept of them because they're all synergized with one another. Seems to be absolutely great. And I don't know how they failed on that and made Scions so busted. Because the idea for Type Zeros and Scions are like, all right, let's make those cards that are always going to work together. That's what you do. And Type Zeros is just falls so short compared to how Scions. Well,
I wouldn't say it falls short. I would say that it's almost too predictable. In Type Zeros, you've got what's coming, you know what's going to make the impact for the deck. With Scions, you know what's coming, but can you keep up? You've got the haster options. You've got the big guys that are 2-drops. You've got it's a better build for Type Zero.
Also, and I think with Type Zero, like the fact that there's just so many different colors to it. Like if you want to play the optimal build for Type Zero, like you're going to be running at least 3 colors, and that just makes it less consistent. With Scions, it's literally just Earth, Lightning. Sure, there are some wind cards like Y'shtola, but this is literally just that, really just the 2 Y'shtolas for wind.
But you take them out now for the 4-drop Y'shtola. You don't even want to play the wind one.
Exactly. So that's why it's just Earth, Lightning. Better. So that's why it just works well with each other, because it basically tells you like what cards you need to put in. With Type Zeros though, like the real good ones are the fire ones, and then there's an argument that you can make an argument between like whether the lightnings or the wind one are more useful or not like that. But if you want to put all the optimal Type Zero cards together, it's literally going to be like a bunch of fire and then a splash of like wind and lightning, and then you got the ace to play them for free. But even then, that's still like 3 colors, and until you stabilize it, it's just not as consistent as just playing like Earth Lightning for Scions.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. When Type Zero came out, it was a great deck. It was very strong. It had shown some competitive.
Man, the only place that it did well was that was it a Thailand or Philippines event?
I think it was like Singapore or something. Like that.
Dude, every list Type Zero, all of them.
That was like the beginning of the format. Then.
All of them. Yep.
That was the beginning. I mean, anything with synergy like that, it's going to get attention. That's why Scions got so much attention, and putting in the new cards that make it better, just crisp. It's what makes it run.
Shout out to Danny Diaz's list. I hate that list. It's a tough match, man.
It is, and he's very good at like building backups, and then holding his power cards, and then just making that instant switch to like turn the game around. Because that literally did happen. Like I turned around and I came back, and he had like 4 4s on board after having like 1 guy only. So yeah.
The match with you, when I watched you guys play, you thought you had the game on lock when Justinian dropped and swung in. He was like, hold on, and he had just the right CP to play a turnaround on him. And I looked away because I was in the middle of a friendly game, and I looked back and I was like, I thought that match was over. No, it kept going for several turns after that because he turned it around like that. And that again, shout outs to Danny for that. He's always doing it on you. You can't turn your back thinking it's over.
Yeah. Don't say it's over till it's over. One thing that I also do want to touch base on, last week I had debuted an episode, Root's Corner, or Talk Shop with Root, however you want to call it, but it was with Devin Welsbacher about that Final Fantasy II deck, and I'm going to continuously try and do some videos with either like known brewers or just really funky stuff that just
pops out to you,
and just surprises me. I have one coming up tomorrow. It's going to be with David Cox. Man, that guy is a brewer. So I don't know which deck he wants to talk about yet. Probably Carbuncle, but just kind of talk about what goes into him building a deck, where he starts. And I myself, I can't put a deck together. That's why I have Curtis do it. It works. It's a working relationship. But it's not only to help me grow as a player, but also, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can play the heck out of some cards, but when it comes to sitting down on the board and Theorycraft on an FF Dex, you're like, what do I do? Where do I start? I can say, I like this card, but how do I make this one card optimal? I may see something and I'm tunnel visioning on one particular idea and don't realize that I can do so much more with either this card or this archetype or everything else in the format, because I may just be looking at only one matchup and make this deck super optimal for a single matchup. But really, you got to look at what you're trying to counter while not losing to everything else. And I mean, that's just something that I want to continuously do for you guys, those out there that are like me, that you're a card hero but nothing more, no deck builder in you, to kind of get your feet wet and figure out and learn the ins and outs of how to put a deck together.
Yeah. And then also for my segment as well, Sang's Corner, I will be making the 3rd video pretty soon. It's going to be about Lightning. So the last video was about like Ice and like what to expect if you're a new player. what kind of cards you'll see when you play against ice, and how to identify what type of ice you're playing against, and how to win against each kind of strategy there. So this next one will be about lightning, basically the cards that you'll see when you play against someone playing against playing with mono lightning, and then ways to beat it, and things to suspect for it. Keep an eye out for that. I'm pretty sure Jason's going to start making videos pretty soon. He's got his
got
equipment
the webcam in. We're ready to go.
Yeah. So we should be exploiting with more content, even more than we have so far. Hopefully we're not drowning you guys out with it, but
I hope not, because you're drowning me out with the content editing.
But yeah, we'll be working on getting some more content out for you guys. And another thing we want to talk about was just the whole LCQ experience, because I think it's safe to say that almost every LCQ is pretty much wrapped up, except for the one coming up in Pennsylvania on Saturday, at least for us.
Yeah.
So once the Saturday has passed, we're pretty much done with LCQ season. I'm kind of glad that it is over.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, man. We haven't been to our home store in
a
long time for regular Sundays, because I'm just traveling, and then if I make it back Sunday, I'm I'm beat.
Yeah.
Well, even then, there's local qualifiers on Saturday and then Sunday, so we're usually playing for both.
Yeah, we're out usually the whole weekend when it comes to the qualifiers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The hardware.
Yeah, I pretty much played in every single LCQ that I could in Virginia, and then surrounding states. I only missed one, which was the one for Yorktown.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can safely say I am burned out from all these LCQs.
I've only gone to 3, and I'm pretty burnt out, man. But that's just me.
Yeah, and then we also wanted to kind of talk about the general attitude, I guess, toward LCQ, because all the people that did qualify are happy that they qualified, but of course you have a lot of people that felt like the system could be done a little bit better. Not to say that they're doing a bad job, because this is much better from what we had last year.
Oh yeah.
By far.
It's more content for the community in general.
Yeah.
More tournaments.
So I think right now, I think a lot of people are arguing two things. One, whether there should be a point system for each kind of player, where you can qualify to Nats on that merit, or whether or not they should have a attendance scaling kind of thing. So if there's more people that show up at an event, there should be more qualifying spots to be given out. Because I do know California had a lot of people. I think they had 30 man LCQ or something like
pretty
that.
large compared to what we're getting.
Yeah, then I think the largest one in Virginia was 24, which was the Virginia Beach one.
24.
Yeah.
24. So what's your guys' thoughts on this whole thing?
Me personally, what they're doing right now, I'm not mad at it. I think it should be a top 2 qualifier, just because you've got 2 people that work really hard to get there. It's just, for Nats in general, compared to Nats of last year, it was very much larger last year than it's going to be this year. And 2 people qualifying per event would make for a lot more room for more people to attend and just be a better experience. But if I were to change the system, it would be a point system. By all means, I think every event that you attend should be a point system. It should all be submitted to Square Enix. I don't know if they want to put in the groundwork for that, but that's something that I feel would be better for players in general, especially if you're doing a local qualifier. I mean, being local or Virginia event, if you've got the points you've been putting in through all the events that are in your local scene, it should be contributing for those that are highly competitive and do want to do that. That's just my personal take on it.
Here's the thing with something like that, though. I mean, it is going to be a lot of groundwork on them. I'm not saying that that idea is wrong by any means. It's going to take a lot of groundwork and a lot of resource on their end to actually calculate the points for individuals. But I think my opinion on the whole thing is the top 2 go in. Of course, the first place gets the trophy. You won,
right?
But the rule that they stated that it's got to be 24 players for it to be a top 8. Anything less, it's got to be top 4. Well, once it's a top 8, make it to where first and second make it.
Right.
I mean, 24 people, you should have first and second to make it. I mean, last year they sold 200 tickets. Of course, we had a hurricane. I think Irma was going on at the time. So then they shut down, or Irma and Harvey, actually, both of them. So the people from Houston couldn't. People from Houston area couldn't fly out because the airports were jacked up. Yeah, people from mid to southern Florida central to southern Florida couldn't go out because of the whole flights.
Right.
So I think it was 170, 160 and change that showed
I think
up.
It was 174. Was exactly
174.
Out of 200 tickets. Or something
out of 200 tickets, and some people also just showed up and got swag and left.
Yeah.
That was annoying because people. I mean, I bought the tickets within 2 minutes of them dropping, but some people who really want to go for the competitive aspect of it and you going just to get like the loot and bounce, you kind of cheat somebody out of a spot to play in
Not
a
like that.
tournament.
I also feel like, to be fair, if you're traveling to do that, that's ridiculous.
I mean,
But
they're probably
most of the people, they're
locals.
local.
They're
you
probably
know.
locals.
Well, I mean,
That's
but-
why I think they're approaching it this way.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a very
the people
sealed
that
off
did
event.
like grab and dash, like they were like avid Final Fantasy collectors. So
Mhm.
I'm not surprised that they did it. Like literally, the guy that I think I think we have the same guy in mind.
Yep.
He had like 2 of every single Final Fantasy game, like 2 copies of every single thing and every like special edition thing.
One
So,
open,
like,
one sealed.
Yeah, 1 open, 1 sealed, and like I'm not surprised that he flew out if he's that into it. But at
Right.
the same time, it does. It just makes the tournament experience less valuable, especially like that was the only competitive event that we had that year
Yeah.
for Final Fantasy in North America. So like people just taking the loot and dashing.
It's people like that don't make the community look good either.
I mean,
I mean,
but
yeah.
the local qualifiers. That's gonna. I mean, this is stopping stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it definitely it makes you want more events. With the Crystal Cups are kind of like our regionals.
Mhm.
But I mean, I see people post all the time where Euro events have like they have multiple qualifiers all over like Europe, and it's like, man, I wish I can get like events that
I
often.
mean, they had the special playmats. I mean, the what is that, Menphilia that's on the trophy?
No. I know they had like this really sweet Sephiroth playmat.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think
yes.
Oh my
that was
God, I
either
see
in
this.
Europe or Asia. I can't remember
I know
which
this.
one.
It was sick. But I
Look it
feel
up,
like
Google.
I just feel like some of the stuff that they get overseas. I mean, show us some love. Give us some of that too.
Right. I mean, United States, we're trying. Square Enix, please hear us out. Like we're really trying to help you guys out. We need some help from you all too. Like
I mean, I think they're doing a very good job for what they got to work
I'm not
with.
knocking them in any way, but I feel like
I just feel like our supply on demand. We have the demand for it,
yeah.
and we're getting supply, but we want more supply.
Right.
Pretty
And
much.
it's not to sound greedy either. Like we want more, but we're willing to put in the groundwork to make your community to like just overall like grow your game. Like we have a lot of people that are interested in growing your game, and people that come from Yu-Gi-Oh that got a lot of prize support, like from bigger companies and stuff like that.
Actually, I don't know. I think Yu-Gi-Oh had really bad prize support though.
Really?
Yeah, the price
Yeah.
support was pretty bad. It's, like you get, unless you like win like a YCS or anything like that, like the price support
It's like
wasn't
an
very good.
iPad
Like,
or
like a
something.
regionals, you get a few packs. You get a deck box, and that's it for top 8 in the regionals. Which usually were and bigger ones. You're looking at 300. West Coast, they're even bigger over there. In YCS, you get a prize card that worth a few $100s, but that was about it. But compared to the Crystal Cup, just entering, you got a box that usually sells for like $40. The Vincent promo,
Mm-hmm.
and then the tote bag, that much more, and you also get the entry packs.
Yeah, so
it's
I
just
think
that much better.
Yeah, I think they're killing it with like general prize support because like I mean I don't think any card game can really match what like Magic has or anything
Mhm.
like that. But I mean like for compared to like Yu-Gi-Oh, because like me and Kyle did play. Well, Kyle definitely played more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh than I did, and from what I remember, like competitive Yu-Gi-Oh definitely did not have like a good payout. You basically went there to top to get your name out there for bragging rights, but other
Right.
than that, like you didn't really get much of a payout for anything.
Even Pokemon has really good price support.
Yeah, Pokemon's big on the prize support. I do know that. Yeah. So I mean, Final Fantasy has a lot to do. I mean, it's not just them. You can't really compare them to Magic or Pokemon. They've been around a lot longer as far as the card game goes. So as we said as we touched base in the previous podcast, and from what I noticed on Facebook with the whole last event that happened at TCG Con, is that their event didn't get as big as a lot of people anticipated, and some people were disappointed. But I can't remember his name to save my life, but someone commented, and it was a really positive post on like how this game is still growing.
Yeah.
And you guys got to give that the chance and just see. Like I'm sure everything's gonna get better as we keep pushing forward.
Yeah, and then before we started recording the episode, like when we're kind of talking about the topics that we wanted to discuss today, this game has gotten so much better from what it started out as.
Year one was a lot rougher. This year has been great.
Yeah, because I mean, like, for one, it's not hard to find product anymore. So that issue has been finally solved, at least in my opinion. I don't know how it is for some people out there, but
I mean, touching base on that, because we've gone to all these LCQs, we've gone to different stores in different regions, and every store had an Opus 1 through 6 box.
Mhm.
You can get anything in the
Yeah.
anything that you need. The stores have it now, which kudos to you guys for getting it done.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things. A lot of that has to do with GTS, the distributor. They've gotten better as this endeavor has gone forward. Being that I work at your hobby place, I know how that works, and in the beginning, how hard it was to get the product. It was very limited in the beginning, and now it's just getting better and better. And as each set releases, they have more product available for the sets. And not just the set itself, but the previous sets that were sold out are now more in stock. And it's just helping out newer players that are able to get every card they need if they need to do so.
Yeah, and then just to like break it down, I guess like a step-by-step case argument for why this game is getting better and not dying. When the game first started, obviously supply problem definitely got a lot of people out of the game, and it was definitely a problem that plagued it until like Opus 4 or something like that. That has been solved. You can pretty much get anything that you want now, and that's really not an issue anymore. And then secondly, Nats was the only competitive event for Final Fantasy that was not like that was Square sponsored. That was the only competitive event for that year, and that entire time before there was literally nothing. Like
Right.
Europe had regionals, Europe had major tournaments that they were able to do. Japan had major tournaments that they had. I'm pretty sure Singapore had major tournaments as well.
Well, what wound up going on, I know I had spoken to one of the Square reps, is they had found out about Square Enix Japan and said, hey, we want you to supply us 4 candidates for the World's Tournament for Final Fantasy. Like, wait, what? So then what wound up happening is Nats Day 1 was actually like what you would call the Crystal Cup, so the local qualifiers, because really all of that was for you to qualify for the actual Nats tournament, which was Day 2, the top 64, and then that's what was the actual, I mean, all of it was labeled Nationals, but really Day 2 was what was Nationals.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. From there, once Nats was over, like everyone wanted like a real competitive scene, and then they started doing the Petite Cups to kind of give us that little taste of what a tournament could be. But of course, that wasn't as big as the actual Crystal Cups, and the prize support, didn't really match up to what we have in Crystal Cups at that point. And then after that, they started doing this. They announced the major competitive tournament scene for this year. Tons of fun. A lot of people coming out. Traveled across the country to play in Kansas. We went to Ohio too for the Petite Cup. Did we go anywhere else? Well, I didn't go anywhere else, but I know like people traveled to Toronto to play in the Crystal Cups.
Yeah.
People travel to Boston. So like everyone's going like across the country to play this game because they love playing the game.
Well, I think it's a big shout out to Okamoto too for doing the Meta Potion series, because I think that kind of got Square Enix's attention that there is interest.
Yeah, because I think Meta Potion started before all this Petite Cup stuff has happened.
So that was a big push in the right direction.
Yeah, because I think they know that we want a more competitive scene for the game, and with this whole Crystal Cup season, they might have taken a little bit too long, in my opinion, of announcing the local qualifiers. I think they should have
been a little bit further out from the Nationals itself.
Yeah, a little further out from Nationals, or at least give us more time to prep, so that we can get something set up more. But with this LCQ experience, even if I am burned out, it was definitely tremendous for the game. People traveling out, people, getting involved in the game for the first time, even if that is their first tournament, which I don't really agree with. But at the same time, who's to say that you can't start your whole tournament life at LCQ?
Right, yeah.
But I mean, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But I think overall, like the game is evolving tremendously. Who's to say what's going to happen next year? Because after this Nats, who knows? We might get everything that we asked for.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Is every year it's been getting better. I mean, first year problems have been solved. Second year, our problems are being announced. Let's see if it's solved. I mean, just moving forward. This is only the second year. The game is still growing. Like, I think we're doing great for where we're at. With the gripes aside, I mean, we are doing really good. We're pushing forward. A lot of tournaments are popping up, a lot of qualifiers, a lot of events. I mean, people, like you said, who are traveling across country just to attend these events. Square Enix should be taking note. And it's going to be good. And I think next year is just going to be even better.
Yeah.
One thing that I would like to add, and I mean, this is just for you guys. I mean, what do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want to pretty much... What problems do you see that we're not seeing in the community? And
if you see something, what are you doing to fix it? Feel free to comment. Let us know what's going on in your community, because we're great at building our end of the bargain. And if you guys need help with your end or want us to cover a certain topic, you guys are our listeners. We're doing all of this for you. So definitely reach out to us and let us know.
Yeah, don't be shy. Leave us a comment on the YouTube, on the Soundcloud, or if you really just want to know how to help build your community in general, we have an email that we can link at the bottom, as well as just message our Facebook page.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have access to the Facebook page.
Yeah.
We will be happy to help and get back to you at a quick time frame.
Mhm. And you guys should definitely send in that information, because Kyle's dying for something to do. He's literally just sitting here like wondering what he can do to contribute, because he doesn't have that good of a computer. So, by all means, send us like any concerns or questions, anything that you guys need help with. We'll do our best to kind of reach back and kind of do our end of the bargain as well.
I actually want to throw in one thing. Those who went to Toronto, if you got a floating Shiba box, message me or message the Turks. I'll try and pick one up off of you. The Vincent box, I'm also looking for that. Thanks for listening, guys.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want to hear more, just follow us on our SoundCloud page and follow us on Facebook as well. Hopefully you guys tune in next time.